Right then, enough of that. So we just listened to what is considered by many people to be by far the worst Smiths song. So
who are the Smiths, Marcus? Explain.
The Smiths were an 80s post-punk, alternative rock, indie rock godfathers rock band from Manchester, England.
Because that's how we all talk in Manchester.
Yes, they came from Manchester and they released 4 albums and they changed music completely. Right then, so
you sound like a Gallagher.
I'm actually Noel's cousin.
Oh no.
Yes, so the Smiths came from 80s Manchester. They were very much a turning point from sort of angular post-punk into more indie rock.
I call it floral.
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 Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe floral.
Okay.
It's just I call it floral music.
Floral.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it's romantic.
Yes.
It's romanticised post-punk.
Yes. It's post-punk without sort of the edgy. It sounds a lot more poppy than something like Gang of 4.
Yes.
Or something. They are very
Division.
Or Joy Division. Yes. They're like a more happy version of Joy Division, and far less experimental.
Yeah.
Yes, they've got moody, introspective lyrics set against sort of jangly pop music.
With kind of a darkly comic wit.
Yes. They started, their first album came out the same year as R.E.M's first album. I think they sound very, very similar to R.E.M.
Okay.
Except less...
The Smiths are better.
The Smiths are much better because they aren't as... yeah, that was R.E.M's Murmur there. We just played a little section of that. Yeah. So, the Smiths' first album, the one before Meat is Murder, which the song Meat is Murder is from, surprisingly. The Smiths is like a classic.
Yep.
It's 11 songs, all of them sort of 4 minutes. I think the longest one's 5 minutes. What's it called? The Reel Around the Fountain.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
Classic album, and then they were feted after that as being like the next big thing, and they followed it up with Meat is Murder, a very, very good album, which is nowhere near as good as the first album or their next album, The Queen is Dead. The Queen is Dead is often considered to be like the best album of all time by what the NME.
The NME recently voted to be the best album of all time. I think it's far from that. It's a very good album.
It's very, very good.
It's one of the best of the 80s, but not one of the best of all time. I think it's a bit much.
I think it's a great album.
It's a great album, yeah.
It suffers like all Smith's albums from being a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
And from having a bit of a flat kind of production.
Yeah. And then the final album is kind of like...
crap.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
It's got some great songs on there, but it's a bit of a mess. Including, I do love that song, Girlfriend in a Coma.
Girlfriend in a Coma. It's a great song.
I know, it's true. That's like ultimate classic Smiths.
Yeah.
You know, like it's playing on a really dark, serious scene, but making it a little bit funny.
Yes.
And melodramatic, you know, like the guy's kind of happy because his girlfriend's in a coma.
Yeah. That's
like the old... Oh, and I guess the one that is Cemetery Gates as well. That's another good example of that.
Yeah.
Where it's about these two really depressing literary book nerds meeting, and they kind of fight each other through quoting Oscar Wilde, and
yes.
The narrator catches out the date because she's using words of some author as her own, and he's like, "Haha, I caught you!
Yep.
You're quoting so and so! Haha!"
Yes.
You know, so that kind of sums up the Smiths.
Yeah, the Smiths are a band I think mostly well known for how much their music sort of takes on a personal edge for a lot of their listeners.
Yeah.
They're often seen as like being, they're my favourite band ever.
The band I grew up with.
Yes, the band that defined me as a child. That kind of, they go towards that kind of purple prose sort of, you know, like everybody, people who get them down here. They wrote songs for me, man. They're that kind of band.
The Smiths helped me through being a teenager.
Yes, I'd be dead if it wasn't for them.
Yeah, my last favourite quote. I'd be dead if it wasn't for the Smiths.
Yes.
And apparently, Prime Minister David Cameron is a fan of the Smiths, which I can never understand why.
No. Yeah, I think he emphasises with Morrissey for some. Yeah. They've had similar upbringings. I don't know.
A civil freaking
What?
like a civil upbringing.
Yeah.
Like David Cameron was raised on the mean streets of Manchester.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? But yes. So Meat is Murder is the last song on the album Meat is Murder. It's a song all about the evils of meat eating.
Yes, I'm a meat industry.
Yes. This song is, I'm assuming, supposed to be a sort of heart-wrenching ballad about how awful meat is, and it's supposed to turn people off of meat. But it's more comical, I'd say, than anything else.
Funny, isn't it? Yeah.
So it begins with these animals going, "Bah."
With like the sound of like a saw, like a guitar sound that's been mixed to sound like a buzzsaw, like
Yes. And then after about an eternal feeling, like 2 minutes of that, it descends into being like a piano ballad.
This beautiful creature must die.
Meat is murder.
It's death without reason, and death without reason is murder. Which is not true.
No.
Because I'm pretty sure you can kill somebody and not have a reason for it and still be considered to be murder.
That's true.
You know.
The song also is very contradictory as well, lyrically.
Oh yeah.
So death for no reason is murder. What's he trying to... So if you killed an animal for a reason, would it be murder?
I guess.
Well, it is for a reason though. It's for people to eat, to live.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense what he's saying.
No, not really.
I don't think a song could ever turn anyone into a vegetarian. Do you? Could you ever listen to something so powerful you just gave up meat?
It worked for Thom Yorke.
It did work for Tom York. I don't know how. If you're Tom York, why did you stop? What about this song was so... If you listened to this and gave up meat because of it, what about this song was so moving that you just had to give up meat? I don't understand how you could make such a big life decision on a song.
No, it's a bit much, innit?
Yeah. Because surely people who are thinking about being vegetarians must already realise, you know, that the animals die to make it and things.
It's not like this big revelation to be like, oh my god, you mean they kill animals to get our meat?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Not the animals.
Not the animals.
Yes. It's just a very confused song. I mean...
Musically it's really good.
Musically, I think the piano parts are good.
Yeah.
That first bit is indefensible with the stupid animal noises and the... I also think this song feeds into a wider problem, which is Morrissey.
Okay.
Morrissey does himself no favours with who he is.
No.
The major accusation against Morrissey is the fact that he's a prick. That's true though. Most people who aren't die-hard Smiths fans, and even a lot of die-hard Smith fans realise he's a prick.
Yeah.
One of the things he said was, it was about... He said people who eat meat are as bad as paedophiles.
Yeah. Well, another famous quote he said was during a concert. It was soon after the shooting of some Swedish high schoolers on, the island where that guy went on, and they were like really bright, young, opportunistic young people, and they were all murdered by this one guy.
Yeah.
He basically said, that tragedy is terrible, but it's nothing compared to the murders that happen every day in KFC. It's just maybe it isn't nice that all those animals do get killed to make meat. Maybe it isn't nice, but it's a bit inappropriate to compare it to, the slaughter of innocent children.
Yeah, exactly, and it doesn't make any sense. No. So there's an ethical argument anyway that the animals are only bred for you to eat anyway, and they don't live very long, and they aren't as higher evolved beings as humans anyway. If it's done painlessly as well, it's not. I understand it's bad in a moral sense, but it's not the same as a bunch of children who can realise what's happening getting murdered.
Yeah.
It's a completely ridiculous statement to be making. I mean, and this is the kind of music, it's hectoring,
If people want an example of why they hate Morrissey, they can flag up
Yeah, exactly.
Meat is Murder.
I mean, this song alone is enough to solve, because Meat is Murder, I think, is a great album up until you get to this song.
Yeah.
It sort of brings the album down for me. I think other than this song, it would be their best.
I think it tries to be... I disagree there, but I think it tries to end in as devastating way as the first one did. That great song, "Suffer Little Children."
Oh yeah.
All about the what's it? I forget his name.
Hindley and
the
other guy.
The other guy. Hindley was the girl.
I don't know the guy.
Mara Hindley and I thought so. They anyway used
The Moors murders.
Yeah, they're kind of infamous over here, especially in the north. Yeah, there were a couple that went around kidnapping and murdering children, and they buried them on the moors, which kind of separate Manchester from Yorkshire. And they've still not found a lot of bodies to this day. I don't remember.
No.
I think is Mara Hindley dead?
No, she's alive. She's dead,
alive.
I think.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, but Mara Hindley's still in prison.
Yeah.
But they're still campaigning now to find out where the bodies are hidden. So that also in particular is really devastating because even at the time it was still a touchy subject, and even now it's still a bit like really powerful even today. I think.
Yeah.
So I think it tries to end it as devastating way as that album did.
Do you think Morrissey thinks that the murder of these animals is the same?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
He sees the murder of an animal as the same as murdering a human being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, no doubt.
Yeah. So that's what he was trying to do with this, do you think? End it as a statement?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
A devastating statement to end the album on.
Yes. Have you heard now that some fans, after his inflammatory comments, now try and sneak sausages in to see him and then throw it at him while he's on stage? Like, someone apparently threw a sausage at him and it hit him in the face, so he cried and ran off.
Oh dear.
It's a bit harsh, but
it
it's
is
pretty
really
funny.
harsh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just like he was just singing and then oh. Yeah.
Oh, I ate a pig. That's just really harsh.
It is harsh, but to be fair, I think he deserves it after his horrible inflammatory comments.
Yeah, well.
Yes, and also I think Morrissey is like is known like as a solo artist for like dirges and songs that don't do anything musically. I think that's a fair accusation of him. As this song sounds like a solo song.
It's a dirge.
It's a dirge, and it's uninteresting musically. It's
murder.
I think this is, other than a couple of Paint a Vulgar Picture I think is worse, but
Unhappy Birthday from Strange Days.
I also think after this they reacted against this. This is like the last sort of heavy one, I think, of like this. Like obviously The Queen is Dead is a much brighter, poppier album.
Yeah.
It ends with that great song, Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others.
Yeah.
Which is about as far from this as you can get.
Yeah. But like apparently like Morrissey band, the rest of the band being pictured eating meat.
See, it's ridiculous, is that?
So like Johnny Marr and the other two that nobody cares about, they were told, you're not allowed to be pictured eating meat. So even they didn't really believe in the music being played. So after that it's a little bit of a reaction against it, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's ridiculous that he's the worst kind of vegetarian now because he's forcing his beliefs on everyone else.
Yeah.
It's completely ridiculous, is that? You can present the points, but just forcing people not to eat meat and to force the band not to eat meat.
That's horrible.
It's completely redundant. It's ridiculous. He can't choose what their lifestyle is. It's ridiculous. I think that, yes, this is easily their worst song. Unfortunately, we didn't listen to it and have a revelatory experience and give up meat.
Yeah, I've had enough now.
Yes.